Hey, what's good YouTube? Target here and welcome to another episode of Design and Manage, my City Skylines and Modded Let's Play series. In the last episode, we have worked on the park that you see on your screen. We have selected all the decorations and all the attractions for the park, and we're now running into a profit, which is amazing. However, we still have something to do, which is decorate everything with trees. As you can see, I left everything blank. And given the fact that the park is now complete, we can finally decorate it with some trees. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm gonna do that and I'll meet you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay guys, so I've just planted a lot of trees and the park is now complete. I have taken a different approach this time. Instead of decorating everything with just one type of tree, I have decorated the outside area of the park with the regular conifers, the regular pine trees, and the area inside the fences that set up the park I've decorated with another type of tree, which is this big and white tree that I do not recall the name right now. Overall, I'm satisfied with how everything has turned out, and I really like our new and completed park. Oh, and by the way, the tree that I did not recall the name is actually called pine. It's this tree. And let's just put another one here. There we go. But anyway guys, I have just spent the last couple of episodes playing with parks, and I'm pretty sure you guys are already tired of that, so I think now is a good opportunity for us to do something different. And I don't know, let's try expanding our city a bit further. Let's go to the Leisure Island. Alright guys, here we are at the Leisure Island. It's been a while since we've been here, and perhaps this is a good opportunity for me to explain what are the plans for the future of this island. So I don't know if you remembered, but this is supposed to be an island where we are going to have the majority of our unique buildings. So we have a leisure district right about over here. Let me just see if I can set it apart. Yeah, there we go. We have this district that is dedicated for leisure buildings. Then we have a tourism commercial district right alongside it, and then we have an IT cluster office district. And I believe I want to make another one of these leisure plus tourism districts right about over here to maximize the tourist potential of this island. And then this very central location will be dedicated to pure unique building placement. So that's pretty much another leisure opportunity over here. But the area that I want to focus on today is actually this area right next to the interchange, and I believe I am going to turn it into residential. We don't have a lot more places in the city to place residential, so I believe we can make a small district right about over here with high-tech housing, because this is going to be a fairly expensive zone. Then we will fill all the remaining spaces with commercial and offices over here, and then finally, if we need if we have some more demand for residential, I will use this island to place the remaining residential and balance the RCI demand. But anyway, let's start by zoning some residential. Let's see, I want all of these to be high density, and I'm pretty sure this is not going to interfere with the runway for the planes. So I believe the buildings are not that big, so let's just zone them over here. So let's zone all of these with residential, and all of these with residential as well. Okay. Before I let these buildings grow, I need to set up the high-tech housing policy, which is something that I forgot to do. So let's set up the district, and I believe the residential district can come all the way until this little road. So let's just draw the district. Okay, the district is drawn, and let's set up the high-tech housing policy. Let's see, where is it? Probably on city planning. Yeah, there we go, high-tech housing. And now we can resume the simulation back again, and now we have the first buildings growing. And I cannot forget about power, because we need to transfer power to this side of town. And perhaps what I can do is draw some actually let's draw some low density commercial in this area, because it's right next to the intersection. So yeah, let's see everything develop. Alright guys, I have just provided water to the entire thing, and I've also made a small power connection over here so that the power transfer from one way to the other. So while we wait for this area to develop, we can now start worrying about services. This area is totally not prepared for residential, so we can start by placing some schools. I will definitely need an elementary school, and we can put it right in the middle. This will have a pretty good coverage. Okay, perhaps we are even going to need a high school, which can be put right about over here. Perfect. We should place a small clinic. Let's see, do we have any hospitals over here? No, nothing on this island. So we are going to need a clinic. Let's see. Right in this corner. It's going to be pretty cool. A fire station can be put... probably let's put it on this little corner. And let's see if it has power. Perfect. And maybe a police station. It's funny because the police station fits right about over here, right under the bridge, which is a pretty amazing fit. We cannot forget about death care. We have a crematorium right on top of the airport, but we should probably place another one, maybe a graveyard. No, this area is too small for a graveyard, so let's just put just a small crematorium right next to the clinic. And let's put it, well, I could even place one over here. Well, this is kind of a great fit, so no, let's reserve this spot for a small commercial building. Let's put the crematorium right about over here. Two of them right next to the clinic. Okay, and now I think the only thing that we're missing is parks. So let's put a large playground right about... wait a second, why is this entire area blue? I don't have any parks over here. I need to do a bit of research about this. I don't know if this is a bug that came out with the last patch, but I don't have any parks in this area, so I don't understand why is this entire area blue and not red. Okay, I'll have to read a bit on this. Perhaps it's just a bug. Okay, but anyway, let's move on. I now want to make a leisure and also a tourism district right about over here, so we can define them right now. I want the leisure district to cover this entire area. Perhaps we can even cover these two little squares right about over here. Let's bring it all the way here and wrap it around here. Okay, here's one. Now we can make a small tourism district in this little corner. There we go. Let's set them up. This is going to be tourism specialization. There we go. And this one is going to be leisure specialization. Perfect. Now let's just start zoning some buildings. Let's place some leisure over here. And let's also start with some tourism. Let's just make sure that everything has water. No, it doesn't. So let's just take care of that. And power shouldn't be a problem. Alright, let's keep going with the zoning. I believe I don't need this power line anymore, so let's delete it. There we go. Now let's zone some more leisure buildings right about in this corner, little corner. And perhaps we can even complete the entire thing. Let's just zone the remainder of the leisure buildings over here. And now we can continue the expansion of our residential zones because we have some more demand for them. So let's make some residential all the way over here. Do I still need this power line? I don't think I do, so let's just delete it. There we go. And I finish up the zoning. Now we can place another elementary school because I am going to need it. Let's place it right here. And perhaps I will need another clinic, so let's put it here. Police is pretty much covered with the helicopter depot and also the small police station, but we are definitely going to need another small firehouse, which I will put right over, I don't know, let's put it here for the time being, and we'll relocate it if necessary. I also want to relocate the high school to a more central location. This high school is going to serve this entire area, so let's put it in this avenue next to the tram track, and let's rezone the small portion of land that we have rezoned. And there's also something very important that we are missing, something that I have completely neglected on the past episodes, which is shelters. So this is something that I haven't placed in quite a long time, so perhaps we can find a good location for some shelters. I believe this is a good location for one of them, and perhaps I should put another one, and perhaps this is a good place for it. Now let's just make a small route. So draw an evacuation route, and we can pretty much cover this entire thing. So let's make a couple of stops here and another one here, and perhaps we can wrap it around, and we should make another stop. Let's give it a bit more coverage. Perhaps we can go on a loop and cover this entire outer area. I believe this is much better. And now let's go to this little buddy and draw an evacuation route as well. So let's start here and another one here. Let's go all around the neighborhood and connect it back. Okay, and as you might guess, this area is totally devoid of shelters as well, and it seems that we just had a disaster. Oh, there we go. How long has it been since we've had a proper chaotic fire? Well, here we have it. But anyway, let's ignore this for the time being, and let's just put some more shelters. And I will have to cover this entire thing. Let's see how many people this district have. 3,000. This one has 3,000 as well. Well, each and every single one of them could have a full large shelter. But yeah, I think that's a proper way to deal with this. Let's just put a large shelter for this entire area. And how about we put it over here? This actually seems like an ideal place. Well, I was actually reserving this area for a unique building, but I think this is much more suitable. So let's just draw an evacuation route now. And this area is going to cover the entire district. So let's make sure we cover everything. and let's just wrap it around here. Okay, that's a pretty long route, but this has enough capacity for everything. Now let's just put another one right about on this area. Let's see, this area has a population of 7,000 people, which is pretty large, and this one about 4,000. So perhaps another large shelter for this entire area. And I believe I just found the perfect location. I am going to put the shelter right about here. Yeah, that's a pretty good fit. So let's just draw the evacuation route. Okay, and finally let's just put another shelter, but perhaps right now we can put a small one or a couple of small ones. Let's put one right about in the corner and another one right here. Okay, perfect. Let's just draw the routes. Alright, we have just worked on the safety of this entire city, and right now we can just rebuild all of these buildings. Okay, perfect, and now let's go back to the leisure island. And there we go, look at how developed this area has become. I believe we do not need none of these power lines anymore. So yeah, let's just delete them all. And also this power line over here as well. Perfect. And now I believe we can start zoning some more stuff. We have some more residential demand. So let's zone all of these with some more residential. And I believe we can cover this entire thing without having any issue whatsoever. Perfect. And now, just to spice things a little bit, let's just draw some pathways so that citizens can cross this area much better. And I don't know, let's put the red one. I think it's a good opportunity for us to experiment a bit with it. So let's make a pathway here, and let's make it wrap around the high school. And let's make another one here. I don't want this to do this. Let's just go all across the district. And perhaps we can do the same here. One here and another one here. And there you go. And also another one here. And for this leisure district, I think I will go for a gray pathway. So let's make another one here and another one here, and perhaps we can make a nice pattern. Let's just go around this thing. Okay, and let's connect it over here as well. Pretty cool. Perhaps we can make some more connections here. And there you go, I really like this shape. And we can do the same thing over here. Perfect. And perhaps it's also a good idea to go to this district and add a way for people to cross from this way, from one side of the neighborhood to the other side without having to go around the blocks. So let's make another pathway right about here. Another crosswalk, and the same thing here. And the same thing here. And for this one we can even have a secondary one right next to the crosswalks on the road. And there we go, perfect. And we should also do the same thing here. Great, and let's do the same thing on this crosswalk. All the way over here. Perfect, I like it. and it kind of looks that everything has a small park, and this kind of looks like a complex of buildings with a park in the middle, which I really like the effect. These roads, these pathways with trees really make a difference. Cool. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for today. We have managed to zone a great portion of the leisure island, and I believe on the next episode we are going to continue working on this particular island, and perhaps we can develop it a bit further and start working on the inner circle. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, and if you haven't done so, don't forget to subscribe to follow the development of the city and get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching guys, and as always, have fun!